Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be trying out AQUA on NIDHOGGR. So I've replaced Red Margaret because you do need a buff removal character, and Liz is the only buff removal goddess in the entire game. So she has to stay, sadly. But we've got AQUA now to replace Red Margaret. That means we do lose a stance removal. It means this team only has a single stance removal, which is her single target, which isn't really that good. But we have a better character. She's got a cleanse, we've got damage reduction, we've got some basic stats. We technically got a revive as well. Yes, it's only for like 2 turns, but it's a revive. And we got a decent damage single target skill. It's got pierce rate on it. So for gear, we have attack crit on Mael, we have HP defense on LR Liz, we have attack defense on Freya, and we have HP defense on AQUA. And then for gear, I will change that King gear, but attack crit to maximize damage, HP defense, and it will also be HP defense on King as well. For the card set, we are just running the normal NIDHOGGR card set, which will give us a lovely 15% attack related stat boost, which will help her out because she needs as much damage as she can get, and it will help the rest of the team out as well. Anyway, let's get on with it. Here we go. Also to mention, I'm not using any food. I do not plan to use any food in the showcases that I do with the new characters, at least on Demonic Beasts, just because, I don't know, it doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't really give you their true how they perform. Of course, you can run food, and yes, the showcase may look better, but it is not how they truly perform. But here we go. So, having this cleanse is actually pretty handy, because it's cleanse and heal and rejuvenate as well, which means we get a secondary hit of healing. Which is something you don't really see anymore. Rejuvenate is normally buff removal either not at all or at level 2. Quickly get some stacks of Freya's Relic. Damage check. Not too bad. No one's got their passive yet, or maxed passive yet. Mael's damage is going to be pretty good. So we are getting about 15%. I think we get 20% basic stats. We've got 4 goddesses, and then we get another 15% basic stats because we got 3 different attributes, being 1, 2, and 3. Of course, these 2 have the same attribute there. And we also get 5% damage reduction as well. No, we don't. We actually get 40% damage reduction. Okay. And then we get the 20% basic stats, and then we get an additional 15% basic stats there. So about 5% less basic stats than having Margaret, but we do end up with an additional 40% damage reduction, which is pretty handy. All of this stuff here only lasts for 2 turns, so it's not really too impactful. Cleanse skill, that kind of stuff, but yeah. Let us continue. So I would like to get some ultimates. I'll make the next phase a little bit easier. We may kill, because this team's actually got decent damage. Okay, no we won't, thank goodness. Unless Liz does some crazy damage here. Well, she doesn't, so we are all good. Damage lower it a bit. So with this team, I'm hoping that Freya should tank a little bit better, because even with Red Margaret, she sometimes doesn't tank the best. But I'm hoping with this team, she should be quite fine. Let's find out. Is it 6 store? That is not bad. It's just not taking much damage at all. I am going to Liz farm. I'm not going to play the AQUA skill. I might play it. Second thoughts, I will play it. And then we'll also play the Freya skill as well, because then we kill it and then we have everyone's ultimate for next turn, which is pretty handy for the phase. There we go. And then we also get the revive as well, which is pretty handy, which isn't needed, but it is nice to have. And here we go, on to the final phase of Floor 1, which is quite easy. Floor 1 is, to be honest, NIDHOGGR in general is just quite easy. Damage cap on this, I believe, is about 40%, so I'll hit it with this, That will do, like, a decent chunk. I'll play this, then I'll play that. I'm not sure how much percent these get rid of each. I think it's 40% each. Yeah. There we go, 40%, 40%. Level 1, I don't think does 20%. It does. Okay, and AQUA gets the kill. That's not good for 2/6. 275k is not good at all. They've put a lot of effort into this collab in terms of the characters' designs and how they do match the anime. I do feel like this is definitely a passion collab, that they did this collab because they like the IP. But not too bad. Like, I'm not going to lie, the damage is on par with Red Margaret, so you're not losing out on damage, you're not gaining on damage, but of course we'll see later on which ones are really bad. Anyway, on to Floor 2. Here we are, now on to Floor 2. Should also be quite easy. NIDHOGGR is not hard. Of course, we do have the infect phase on the next. Phase 2 is actually an infect phase, which is Not too bad, hopefully. I think I do this, because I do want to insta-kill this phase, because you need buff removal, which is the reason why you have to use LR Liz for this. But you see the damage is quite impeccable here. There we go. Very much overkill, but I just wanted to guarantee the kill. That was my problem, I just wanted to guarantee it. There we go. Get some relic stacks. We should be all good. You've got lots of AQUA skills, which isn't the best, but we can at least have a look at some of the damage. I'll play this first to maximize it. And we'll start getting some damage lower on there. And the next time we'll play double Liz, get Liz's ultimate. Okay, so that did 80k. She's doing 84k. Okay. 93k now, not bad. Mael's doing Mael damage, which is good. Yeah, we got a lot of skills to get through. I do need some half-decent skills for next phase, so I may actually keep the Liz AoE. Just because I want buff removal for the next phase, because I'm not sure how good this team is going to be at getting through it. Thankfully, we do have a lot of buff skills, so I'm just going to play both of these just for hand space. Play that, and then play the damage lower as well. It is going to pop a stance, but the stances aren't that strong. Bear in mind, we actually have a decent chunk of damage reduction, we've got decent defenses, it's going to be 40% damage lowered. I'm not really too fast. There we go. Not bad damage, 129k. Against, what's this, 60% damage reduction? Yeah, 60% damage reduction. Cool. Pulling lots of skills for her, which I guess is half decent at least. I'm probably going to pop her ult and her skills, so we'll do this. Pop her ult, then her skill, just so I can get her ultimate again. A little bit quicker. That is horrendous damage, okay. That's not bad, though. She's infected. But we can just cleanse that off. Liz's ult again. I'll see, yeah, the damage is on par with Margaret, it's just more as you don't have another stance removal, which means if you don't pull Freya skills, like we're not doing currently, it makes it a little bit harder. But it's not too bad. Damage is okay, I guess. There we go, that's fine. What I will do is this. I think I merge my L. No, I don't merge my L. I was thinking if I would just merge my L for hand space, but it's not really worth it. I'll pop this for the basic stat boost and the attack rate stat boost. Gold skill, go. Not bad. 309k. It's not bad. Bear in mind that is with 60% damage reduction. So, I've seen much worse before. Even from my 6/6 red Margaret, I have seen worse. Okay, this is where I'm quite slightly scared, but thankfully we do have two cleanse characters. I'm not going to cleanse this turn. I think I'm more or less going to waste lots and lots and lots of skills. I want to maintain its health low all the time. So I'll mark it here. I should probably play the Mael skills the other way around, really. Doesn't matter, because they both have the same effect. That's not bad. Freya's going to do so much, because she's still the highest multiplier ultimate in the entire game. There we go. I want to maintain the health below 50% without having to do anything, and Freya's always the perfect way to do that. Now we're finally pulling skills for her. It's not too bad. There we go. I can cleanse up, and then we can play these two as well, just sort of maintain its low health. Get also towards her ultimate again. I could have merged, got Freya's ult again, which probably would have been the best play for me to do, really. Or play the Mael skill, get Mael's ult. There we go. Not too bad. Damage is okay. I'm not going to cleanse this turn. We haven't pulled any cleanse skills with AQUA. We only pulled the first one. Also, she has no crit resistance, which I just realised. She has like impeccable crit. She has like 300% crit defense, but like no crit resistance. I don't know why on earth they decided to do that to her. But okay, with this team, it's not too bad. But like that crit defense is the highest crit defense in the game. It's double LR Queen Diane, who has the highest crit defense in the game. Which is crazy. It's genuinely crazy. Actually, what's everyone's stats looking like? Mael 84k attack, 774 health. Liz 789 health, 666. She has a lot of attack for HP defense. Right, she's only 14k lower than Mael, only 17k lower than Freya, which is kind of good, kind of cool. We'll remove the buffs because now the buffs can start to get a little bit irritating. And I'm just going to merge these. So the reason why I didn't play the Mael skill, solely because I would have removed the damage reduction, which is something I don't really want to do. The damage is actually not too bad now. I think maybe it just takes for a little while to ramp up. Well, and everyone else is passive to ramp up, so fair enough, I guess. It's not the best, but it's okay. It's gonna ult, which is what I expected. The reason why I'm keeping these skills, so I can cleanse and full heal. Bye-bye, Fraser. Boop, it's gone. Cool. We can just pop this, and then double single target with my L, which will kill. First one will do the mark, second one will do the increased damage, and we'll just vaporize it. Back to full health. It's not a bad team. I'm not going to say it's any slower, but maybe a little bit if you get unlucky with, like, Margaret's, Freya skills like that. We got, like, probably, like, it's not, like, impossibly unlucky, but it's just not very common you get that unlucky with skills. Damage-wise, she did more than Liz, 1.5 mil, only 600,000 lower than, you know, this one, and only 900k lower than Mael, who's main DPS, so not bad. Floor 3 will be the ultimate decider. Here we are, now on to floor 3. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully, it should be as easy as the previous 2 floors. Of course, phase 2 is always going to be the hardest bit on this floor, but yeah, I'm hoping it should just go quite smoothly. Also, I have to get through this phase, preferably without using the Margaret skill. Sorry, the buff. Wait, the buff removal. Sorry, stance removal. Because this does a lot of damage, but I do need a skill that does a lot of damage. Because if not, we have to go through the whole percent thing on this phase, which is something I don't really like doing. Do damage, please. Okay, I'm not sure what the damage cap is. Okay, we kill it. I think damage cap's about 35%, so I'll get a damage cap pretty easily. That's all I needed, so I can remove the damage increase. Because if not, I can't remove the damage increase, and I have to gamble for another stance removal, which is not something... We got one, but it's not something I would like to do. We can also get Liz's ult here, so that's Liz's ult, and then I'm going to mark it for the damage lower. I want to play a Freya skill every turn, even if it is stance removal, solely because I don't want to get in darkness stacks. This boss has the... What's it called? I forgot what it's called. It's the one that my Blue Festival Esterosa has, and it's really irritating. Okay, I understand you want me to use stance removal skills, which is fine. It's not too bad. Do some damage. I could pop Liz's stuff just for the ult gauge or something. Actually, I am going to do that now I think about it. Then we'll also do this as well. I'm probably just stance removal first, just in case we got the recovery lower one. But we'll see here. If we would have got it, I'll be a little bit upset. Please don't. It's stance. Okay. I think it's stance. Is that stance? Damage is really good, by the way. Bear in mind, this is with... That's not too bad. It's with 40% damage reduction, but... Stance skills, yeah. We've got Freya's ult as well now, which is handy. This counter is nothing. I don't care. I used to be scared of this counter until I've, like, more recently played against it, and you realise it's not as scary as what it is. I'm going to start to removal it, though, because I want to. I'm more than okay getting rid of her ultimate. I want to keep her... I was going to use a recovery skill, but I want to keep it, because we're going to get debuffed now, which is not nice. Get some damage lower on it. We are going to sadly remove all of the damage lower, because we played 3 skills, so it's going to get 3 sacks, and it'll disappear. There we go. But it should be a-okay. There you go. It's going to ult now, which is extort, which is this reason why it's scary. So I want to see how well it's going to tank. We do actually have a revive on her anyway. No, we don't. But anyway, she survived, and she didn't take too much damage because she didn't have darkness. And I'm just going to Liz farm. So we'll cleanse. We don't need buff removal. If we cleanse, it removes the debuff and buff because they are linked. There we go. Good damage. I really didn't want to have to use her ultimate, but I can just farm back up, so it's really not a problem. There we go. Oh my god, game. I desperately do understand you really badly want me to play stance removal skills now. Oh no. We still should be okay. I don't have any buff skills, which is a little bit sad, but this should still do at least a decent chunk. We still have Abyss for a turn, so as long as we can get it to 0%, the Abyss will do its job. Oh, we'll kill it here anyway. There we go. Not too bad in the end. I did Freya's ult. I want to keep Freya's ult solely for this phase, because I'm 6'6", I can just eviscerate the health bar without having to do anything. This will disappear now. Yeah, sadly. I'm going to play this, and then I'll use one, because I want to keep the other, and I want to keep the stance removal as well. And I feel like that's all I'm going to do this time. Yeah, so that Abyss will do enough to also kill it again. So you'll see its health bar is going to go up, and then immediately back down. There you go. Back to 0. This is why Freya is so broken for this, and of course higher level as well. Team's doing really well though. Damage is good, bulkiness is good. She probably is better than Red Margaret in many ways. But of course, it's not like the be-all and end-all, you know, she doesn't make this stupidly easier, it's just a little bit easier. You know, you don't have a stance removal skill, so it sort of swings and roundabouts. Still good damage. I'm using her skills to check her damage. 463 seems to be like her, like, like max damage. Okay, we are going to lose all gauge for Freya here, which isn't best, but it's okay. I need to keep the cleanse skill, and I need to keep preferably one stance removal. Apart from that, we should be all good. I'm going to damage lower it here, and that's all I'm going to do. I'll just move the Freya skill. There you go. It's very much overkill, but her damage is still, I would still say, maybe she is just much better than Margaret, because at least you get the damage increase. As long as you play smart, you really got nothing to worry about. Especially on this phase, which is normally the, sorry, this floor, which is normally the killer floor. If you have a bad run, it's normally on this floor, especially on the second phase, if you just don't get good skills. Or even with Margaret, if you pull too many stance removals, because of course, even just then, I have one stance removal skill on my entire hand, and I just kept pulling it. You know, imagine you have that and Red Margaret, you're going to pull even more. So the reason why I wanted to keep the cleanse skill, and the reason I wanted to keep the stance removal is for this bit here. I'll do this, because I also then get Freya's ult for next turn, and then we just immediately kill it. There we go, there goes the stance. We nuke it. Very much overkill. It will lose its final health bar, and the next turn we hit it with Freya's ult. I think I want to play 3 AQUA skills, just I want to gauge the damage. It's got 2 million health. She can't do 2 million damage. I'll say that for free. She will not do 2 million damage. But I at least want to see how much she can do. This is of course 2/6. You can get much higher levels. Let's see how she goes. Yeah, she's got a very, like, oh, not bad, that's 600k, I think we saw a crit then. We're seeing crits, that's incredible. She has extremely low crit chance. There we go, and Freya, of course, just overkill as ever. But yeah, not a bad team. I would say she's definitely better than Red Margaret, but if you don't have her, it's not the be-all and end-all. Like, Red Margaret is still usable, because of course she is made for Nidhogg. But yeah, she's definitely an improvement, she's fun to use, her damage is good. Sometimes. She's got a cleanse skill, which heals you and gives you rejuvenate, which is pretty handy. She gives you damage reduction, basic stats. You're only missing about 5% basic stats compared to Red Margaret on this team, which isn't too bad. As well as, you know, she's actually pretty good, and I'm actually surprised. Her damage, she can double up as a semi-competent DPS. I know it's like nowhere near as much as these two, but bear in mind these two have like extremely powerful ultimate. She's got Abyss, that's 6/6, and he's a UR based Festival, so you can't really compare the two. But apart from that, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.